Far, no declaration of victory by Senator Van Wanggaard.
That's right, Mike and Carol. And although we are seeing that big margin there on the graphic with 22% in, a 60-40 difference in favor of Wanggaard, I just a few minutes ago spoke to a Wanggaard advisor who tells me they have folks at different polling sites and in different municipalities throughout the district, and they have numbers that are farther into the race, and they say that once more counting happens that the numbers are much closer. And by their count, it is just separated by a few hundred votes. I believe the published numbers do not account for many of the results from the city of Racine, which would heavily favor John Lehman. So as the numbers continue to be published, we should expect the gap to narrow. With that said, as I mentioned, the Wanggaard folks are cautiously optimistic. But we may be waiting until the reporting numbers get close to 100% before we see either Wanggaard or Lehman emerge to speak to supporters again here tonight. Remember, this is a very divided district, and the last time around this was decided by just a few thousand votes, and that was considered to be a wide margin. Often this district is settled by just a few hundred votes. So while they may be able to call the governor's race with, say, 40% of the precincts reporting, we likely will not see that here in Racine tonight. We will likely the candidates will likely wait until those numbers get closer to 100% reporting before they come out, either candidate calling victory or conceding defeat.
Tom, very interesting. You talk about those numbers coming from the Van Wanggaard, because at this point there's a 20-point spread on the official numbers, so you would expect a declaration of victory. Here's a late look at it, 60% to 40%, but again, if you look down in the lower left-hand corner, we've only got about 28% reporting. The fact that they have not come out, the fact that they have some of their own internal numbers makes them a little bit cautious.
And the fact that Racine has not reported is a very important part right there.
Yes, a large number of voters in Racine, and as we look at the published numbers from Racine, about a little less than 2/3 of those votes are going to John Lehman. Remember, the core for Van Wanggaard is cities like Caledonia, communities like Mount Pleasant and Union Grove. They are doing very well right now as I look at those numbers in those communities. Wanggaard thought that he needed to do better than 30% in the city of Racine in order to pull off a win tonight. And with about 16% of those numbers published on the city of Racine's election website, they are getting the number that they wanted from the city of Racine. So again, the message from the folks here at the Wanggaard campaign is they are cautiously optimistic, but their numbers are showing, and we may see this as the published numbers continue to come out, that the separation between Lehman and Wanggaard will narrow much closer than that 60-40 margin that we are seeing right now in the published numbers.
Yeah, two very different candidates.